What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here. And if you do hear my TV set in the background, yeah, Raw is still going on because I am done watching it for right now. Seriously, this was stupid. This is a go home show. The go home show for one of your big four pay per views. And this is what you give us? Seriously, I know that there's probably tons of people that are going to complain about the matches and stuff. I can give a crap about the matches. Seriously, I could care less about any of the matches that happened. There was probably maybe there was actually one segment that I really honestly cared about for the night. Seriously, there was one segment that I actually cared about for the night, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute. Whew, okay. I had to literally turn off the TV to turn down the TV set for a minute because I didn't want to shout out. But anyway, the thing about it is, the opener sucked. The matches weren't bad. The only segment that I cared about was Piper's Pit. But the one thing that pissed me off was the fact that they made Roddy Piper seem senile. That guy's a freaking legend. For crying out loud, you don't have to make him look senile, like he don't even know where he is or what he's doing or anything. He's not that old. And the entire segment, they made him look like he was a senile old man. That is just completely disrespectful in my eyes. Worse than that, nobody, not even inkling, brought up AW and his situation. Not once. But is that to be surprised? No. I'm actually shocked that they didn't talk about it on Twitter. They always do. And you know what? And I wonder if anybody has ever noticed that when Triple H came out, how on the bottom when they actually have Triple H's name, they did not put that he actually had a Twitter account. Stephanie doesn't have one either. Surprise? No. I'm not surprised at all. I just can't believe that this is supposed to be the go home show. We got 3 hours of Raw. This is something going up to SummerSlam's anniversary. And this is what you give us? The ending was pathetic. It would have been better if they actually kidnapped Shawn Michaels, touted about it, actually had a point to where they touted how Shawn Michaels was kidnapped and how Brock Lesnar would have a camera on him. That would have been a little bit more entertaining, actually a little bit more suspense. And then at SummerSlam, we would have found out what really happened to him, and it would have gave Triple H something to fight for. But no, they had to drag him in the ring, break his arm in front of Triple H, when they could have prolonged it to SummerSlam. Stupid. Worse than that, they can't figure out which way they want their characters to go. Number one, for how long has it been? For about 3 or 4 weeks, they've made AJ look sane, and then all of a sudden she goes completely nuts when you say the word crazy. She's skipping down the ramp like a freaking 12-year-old Lolita. Instead of acting like a GM, she's like skipping down the ramp. And then you got Daniel Bryan. I don't think anybody can make up their mind how Daniel Bryan's supposed to be. The fact is that Daniel Bryan's a heel, but he's being put over as a face. Worse than that, you got CM Punk, who's supposed to be something, I don't know. Right now, he's a tweener. They can't make up their mind whether or not they want him to be a face or a heel. The entire night, I have been trying to figure that out. It started off in the beginning when the Big Show was in the ring that he ended up getting cheered like a face. And then he ended up turning back into a heel, and then a face again, and then a heel, and then a face again, and then a heel. Make up your freaking mind! Which way are you going to go with all of these characters? How are they going to fit in with any of these storylines? How are they going to fit in SummerSlam? It doesn't make any sense, people. Come on, you got 3 hours of this crap. At least try to do something with it. Bad enough about it is you got little snippets of SmackDown. It's all well and good about what happened to Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio, but save that for freaking SmackDown. SmackDown needs more help than anything else. They need to keep their storylines for that show. They don't need to be brought over because, for crying out loud, they don't have super shows anymore. Raw is its own individual brand now. So is SmackDown. You don't need to be doing any more SmackDown recaps. You need to leave SmackDown for Friday night. That's what you need to do because it makes people want to stay tuned to watch SmackDown. The same thing with Raw. You want to make them separate brands now. That's what you did after Raw 1000. So why are you putting SmackDown recaps on the show? Look, this is supposed to be the anniversary of SummerSlam. This is supposed to be the go home show for SummerSlam. And yet I have seen absolutely nothing to show for it. Sure, we finally had a Divas match after a long time. We had a Divas match last week, and we finally have a Divas match this week, but I doubt we're going to even have a Divas title match. And if we are, it's going to be so far in the card that we're going to actually forget. And it's sad how Beth Phoenix came out to Eve's music when Beth Phoenix is truly the dominant female. But now, for some reason, no matter what, Eve is always going to be the top dog in the Divas world. Not like it really matters because the Divas division is pretty much dead anyway. And no Kelly Kelly. Nobody knows what happened to her. I still don't know if she's still there or not. But regardless, at least Caitlyn was able to have a few minutes to shine. It's a shame that there is no A-Rye, especially after A-Rye's triumphant win that he had last week. He should be able to have more matches. But no A-Rye either. Gosh. And we end up getting Ryback coming out with no Jinder Mahal. And I'm sorry, sure, it's supposed to be a feud for SmackDown. But still, if you're gonna still cross over like what you've been doing, having all of your SmackDown recaps and all SmackDown recaps on Raw and all of your Raw recaps on SmackDown, then why can't you bring the feuds over too? That actually gets your people to watch. If that's what you're still doing, why not? Why not have Jinder Mahal interfere with Ryback? Why not? In fact, you will squash JCG anyway. Why not have Jinder Mahal come out and interfere with Ryback? There are so many holes, like so many things, problems with this show. And not to mention the ending alone has been done before. But it would have been better if they held out. But they chose not to do it. Seriously, I really don't know what to say about SummerSlam anymore. I really don't. And now seeing how it's a possibility that they are going to change up the main event for SmackDown and actually not have Alberto Del Rio having a main event anymore. They're actually going to have a number one contender for the title, which means that he's just going to interfere anyway, and Sheamus is still going to keep the belt. So what's the point of that? But regardless, all in all, I'm going to be real. This Raw was underwhelming, pathetic. The ending was tragic and dumb. The matches were just meh. And honestly, the segments were meh. I mean, the only segment that was worth looking forward to was Piper's Pit. But then they made him look like a senile man. But at least Dolph Ziggler ended up having his little moment in the sun. There were a few positives here, especially with Dolph Ziggler being able to have a decent win going into the feud with Jericho. That's the only positive I could say, but it was just sheer disrespect, not only for AW, but also for Piper's Pit. I mean, also for Piper's Pit and for Roddy Piper. So for real, I'm giving it a thumbs down. This was probably the worst go-home show. Actually, they've always had terrible go-home shows, but tonight was the worst. Thumbs down. That's my verdict, and I'm sticking to it. What do you guys think about it? If you guys like it, leave your comments in the comment section below. If you don't like it, still leave a comment. If you want to send me a video response, I'm all for that. But right now, whatever. I could care less about this Raw. Anyway, this is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. See you later.